All right, welcome back to the On the Lake Sports Show. Got the whole crew here again. And I'm wearing a Steelers jersey today because I lost a bet, but the Browns won a game and we're in the playoffs, so I don't care at all. Like, this jersey, I respect Ryan Shazier, actually, so I can't even hate on him that much. The jersey's just ugly in of itself. But the Browns won against the Steelers. We got to talk about that first before we get into anything else.
Practice squad. Steelers
We had
practice
8
squad.
guys out as well, so and 3 coaches.
We
And we
decided to
practiced
sit ours.
for 1 hour this week. Sorry, one practice and then a 1 hour practice after. So I feel like we were on pretty evenish playing fields. Obviously, you didn't have Ben and TJ Cam, but we were missing Denzel, guys like that.
Pouncey,
Pouncey doesn't even do that
Eric
good this year.
Ebron, our kicker.
All right. Okay. Well, your kicker's hurt, first off.
Yeah, our kicker is hurt.
Our entire secondary was out. Four of our starters were there. We're gone. But that's just what it is. All right, let's get into it now. Playoffs. Heinz Field. I'm nervous, but I'm kind of I like the matchup. How do you guys feel? Luke, let's start with you.
I don't know. I mean, you guys haven't been in a playoff game for what was it, 2002 or?
Yeah, 18 years.
So, I like the fact that we have experience on our side. You're coming into Heinz Field playoffs.
Is there any fans?
I'm not sure.
They're supposed to say like this week.
Football. I don't know. I think that's just a huge factor in it. I will say though, like a lot of our guys, like our new guys, they haven't been in a playoff game either. So I mean that definitely has a factor in it. But when you got a quarterback like Ben, who's been here so many times, been in this position, I'm taking that. I'm just riding on that fact alone that you're gonna have a good quarterback that can lead them into this. And I don't know. I mean, it's a fluky year, so I mean, I'm not like so 1,000% confident, but I think we get the job done. I'm not really too worried about it. So,
you think the Steelers cover? 4.5.
What is it?
What is it?
4.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not. It'll come down to the last play.
All right.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, that game got close for no reason. I was just
I
sitting
knew
there.
it was like, coming.
It was like beginning of fourth quarter. I'm sitting there like, we are in the playoffs. And I was like, we are maybe in the playoffs.
I told Drew, I said, we're going to score. I told Luke and said, we're going to score and not get the 2-point conversion. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Because we are the worst 2-point conversion team in the history of the NFL, I think.
That was like just
so
a terrible play call, too. Like,
you know what?
You've been running it all. You were getting 2 to 3 yards. You could have probably ran it in.
Dude, usually what they do is they just send the guy in the corner of the end zone and throw it up. They just decided to do it in the middle of the field this time. But playoffs, man, I think Luke made a great point. I mean, if anything, yeah, rip on Ben, all you want, but this is when you want a guy like Ben on your team and in the playoffs. Like these quarterbacks, like all these old quarterbacks, what do you know? They're in the playoffs again. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Philip Rivers, all these guys are seasoned vets, and they're there and they know how to handle these big moments. The Browns are young. They got a lot of weight off their shoulders. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit here and say that this should be a walk in the park and this is like a Miami Dolphins team. Like, no, I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it if they beat us. You know what I mean? It would be like, I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I expect us to win. I do. I don't see how we could lose this game outside of our defense just absolutely falling apart and Ben shitting the bed. That's the only way I see us losing this game. I think, yeah, like you said, Chubb had a good game. He only ran the ball 14 times for 100+ yards.
Yeah.
That's big. What also is big, you stick Cam Hayward and TJ Watt with Tuitt, who had a lot of snaps off. Oh, that whole defensive line. I don't see that happening again. Mason Rudolph didn't play horrible, but he's not Ben. And I think it's a more controlled game
better.
style where stop. I just think it's huge that Ben can walk the line and just instantly see what your defense is in and like make adjustments, hopefully, like that. But look, congratulations, you're in the playoffs. I hate the Browns, but I mean, it's good to see you guys in the playoffs. Have you something to cheer for? It's not going to last long. You're going into Pittsburgh, and this is one of 3 games for us. 3 games to get the Super Bowl. Starts Sunday.
Yeah, I think this is when we shut the door. We close the door on the Steelers window. Everything just slowly starts to fall apart, and this is the end. I hope you liked it. Hope you had fun. Loved all those years as being a big bad on top of the AFC North. This is where it slowly comes to an end. This is the end of the
I don't think it'll ever. I honestly don't think it'll ever end. Just the way that organization is set up for success year in and year out.
I'm sure the Patriots said the same thing too.
Yeah, and they still won what 8 games.
Yeah,
they had a down year.
Are you happy with 8-8? If the Steelers went 8-8,
I was happy they were 8-8 last year with the circumstances.
That's a lie, Frank. Come on, missing the playoffs at 8-8, you can't be happy. It's playoffs or nothing in the NFL.
Let's be real. We get in the playoffs with Duck Hodges. Where are we going the first round? Right back to your home. So let's not would you always like to get in the playoffs? Absolutely. But the fact that we started off 0-4 and finished 8-8, yeah, you know what? I would gladly take that. At least that. But my point is, we'll compete. We will always compete. Which I want to bring something else up. I'm going to change the topic here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go last on this too, because mine is extremely controversial. I want your guys's conference championships, NFC and
AFC. I'll go first. So AFC, it's a terrible, boring pick, but no. Wait, what seed are the Ravens?
The Ravens are 5.
So they'll face Chiefs second round if they win against. Never mind. So I'd go Chiefs Bills.
Okay, Luke.
It's a boring pick, but I think those are the by far 2 best teams right now in the NFL.
So wait, who would it be? Would Steelers have to play the Chiefs before that?
No, we'd play them if we play the Chiefs, we're gonna play them in the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
If they get the
I'd probably say Chiefs Steelers.
And my thing is, whoever faces the Chiefs in a conference championship game in Arrowhead, I like the Chiefs 9 out of 10 times.
And I don't disagree with you, except the conference championship game. Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate. The conference championship game is going to be in Pittsburgh because we will be playing the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens are hot.
I really
it's
think
the playoffs.
For some reason I thought about it today and I said if anybody that out of there can beat them and eliminate them first, it's the Ravens. I don't think it's the Tennessee Titans. I don't. Is that that's who they play, right? The Ravens play the Titans. Yeah, I don't think it's them. I truly think that the Ravens can somehow shock them. I don't know why, but I do. And I think obviously just being biased, the Steelers Bills, that's a toss up, but I think we can win that game too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
I think a game that is going under the radar though is that Bills Colts game. I think we're going to see a pretty close game. The Colts have played everyone pretty well this year, and I still think they're probably going to lose, but it's going to be a tight one, I think. I think Phillip Rivers goes out with a respectable game at least.
Sure.
I hope they win. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm
of course
sure Drew's cheering for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they win. That's huge if they win and we win. Oh my goodness. Please give me Phil or oh fuck no, we play Baltimore.
You would?
Yeah, because the Colts are a 7th seed, right?
Oh, it realigns in the NFL?
Yeah, it
That's
realigns.
dumb.
So we'd go to the Baltimore, would come to Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
you don't want that. So go Bills.
Wait, so who would play? Oh, they'd play they have no shot against them.
No.
I don't know.
all right.
I don't know if I want to say go Bills because
No,
you know
you don't
what?
want
It's
to
always
Buffalo. in the
playoffs is
playoff.
1 week at a time. Playoffs 1 week at a time. You just got to win and don't focus on everybody else. Just win your game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and that's
don't
the other
understand.
thing.
I'm new
always
to
hear
this.
I always hear it too. In the playoffs, we always say these scenarios like Ravens or the Bills. You know what? If you're gonna make the Super Bowl, you got to beat somebody at some point. So, might as well get it over with.
I want you guys' thoughts for the NFC East. I was watching the game, and it looked like the Eagles were throwing the game. What do you guys think was going on? Luke, what's your thoughts on that game?
I don't know. I mean, what were Jalen's numbers? He had an interception, 2 rushing touchdowns.
It's like about 50% completion percentage.
Yeah, like
It
6
literally
fine.
doesn't matter.
And then they put in Nate Peterson, who threw a pick and fumbled and looked like
Not Nate Peterson, you jerk. Nate
what's his-
Sudfeld.
Nate
Yeah.
Sudfeld. Oh, I was thinking that, yeah.
Don't disrespect Peterman ever again.
Nathan Peterman. I don't know why I said Peterson. That name was just pulled out of my ass there.
Doug Peterson.
There we go. Good save.
I don't know. It was just like I don't know. I don't understand why they made that decision, but I'm not an NFL coach, so not really my place to say. But I mean, that was perplexing, I guess you could say.
Frank, do you think they just in-game tanked?
Yes. I mean, I don't think it's perplexing. I mean, I don't think like it doesn't matter what his stats were. If that was the case, why the hell wasn't Carson Wentz active? So if you're gonna pull Jalen Hurts, there was something going on. It's something shady, and I've never said this in my life, but that was the most shadiest thing I've ever seen in my life. What was he thinking? It was a 3-point game. You have a promising quarterback who's played well when the time he's in. You can't just take him out like that.
I think even before
Unless you're trying to tank.
they're down 3. How do you not kick that field goal on 4th and whatever it was?
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. I was just like thinking of how like I was just trying to put myself in a mindset where I was trying to like justify that and like try to like be like, okay, well maybe he did it for this reason. I don't understand why. I really can't think of like a good reason why, but
I thought because I quit watching the game and I saw on Twitter it said Sudfeld was in, so I thought okay, Hurts is hurt.
Yeah.
Then I saw Twitter blow up, and I was like, wait, what is happening? So I turned the game on, and when I turned the game on, he fumbled the snap.
Yeah.
And I said, and then like even the announcers and. When you hear Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth talking about it, saying they have no clue what the Eagles were doing, like the announcers have to like always stay to themselves, and they're saying that it's bad.
Collinsworth was genuinely upset in that game. He thought there was something wrong going on.
And there is something wrong.
Yeah.
You play to win the game. Those guys go out there every week. You know, people say I don't like college, or I like college more. Which I always hate when people say is I like college more because they're not getting paid and they play the game just to play the game. I hate that saying. I'm like, you don't think those guys were out there playing to play the game and win? They were doing everything they can to win that game. They were 4 and whatever, and their coach literally took their best chance of winning out of the game.
Yeah, it made no sense.
It no sense. It's not like, and I know for one thing, it's not like Hurts was horrible because it was a 3-point game. And even Collinsworth and Michael said, if it's out of hand, yeah, I mean, no one cares at that point. But it wasn't out of hand. It was a drive away from winning the game. Ridiculous.
I think the big thing, though, is Giants fans are really upset about the Eagles for blowing that game. But they were 6-10. They never controlled their own destiny. And they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. So I don't get why they're so angry right now. I understand the Eagles kind of screwed you a little, and even if they tried, maybe they still don't win that game. But you're 6-10. What are you complaining about? You had no right to be in the playoffs.
It's still, yeah, I mean, you're right, but like, does Washington deserve a right to be in the playoffs? They're 7.
They won 7 games, so slightly more than the Giants they do.
I mean,
If the Giants win 7 games, they are in the playoffs. They are already beat the football team twice. I think we called them the Redskins a couple times. But you win 7, you're in the playoffs. It's not like it was this insane goal. And anyways, whoever gets it, I think Washington has the best chance against anyone in the playoffs because that defense is very good. The Giants get in the playoffs, they're getting waxed by Tom Brady. I don't care. People have probably said that. People have said that before about the Giants, getting waxed by Tom Brady in the playoffs. But this time it's different. They would actually get waxed by Tom Brady. It wouldn't even be funny.
I mean, even in that game, though, like with the Cowboys and Giants thing, they talked about it on ESPN. Like those guys, they played hard to the final. I mean, they're right. You don't care. If you have a chance to go to the playoffs, you can. If I was on a team that had a chance to go to the playoffs, I don't care what my record was. If I go into the last game of the season and someone looks you in the eye and say, you win this game, there's a shot. I mean, yeah, you're going to play your heart out, man. Because once you get in the playoffs, you never know what could happen. Tom Brady could go break his leg on the first play in line of scrimmage, and then what? I mean, you never know.
Oh, who is it? It's the Missouri quarterback, not Chad Henne.
Drew Lock.
No. Before Drew, Blaine Gabbert, I think, is the backup, so that would be fun.
Oh, for the Bucks, yeah, Blaine Gabbert.
But any other playoff talk?
Who the Rams?
The Rams? I have no idea who they play.
Are they? Wait, who?
The Rams.
The Rams.
We don't pay attention to the NFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I said like 2 things, I was like, that's a bad idea because I don't even know the seeding of the NFC to like pick.
Yeah, we're an AFC podcast.
Yeah.
But
all right, I think we're just gonna jump into the interview. So, hope you enjoy the interview with Marco Donatelli. All right, welcome back. We got guest Akron football player Marco Donatelli. How's it going, man?
What's going on?
All right, not much, but Browns Steelers. How do you feel about losing? I know Browns didn't cover, that's why I'm in this stupid jersey, but how you feeling about that?
I feel good. I feel like having 8 starters out, resting, preparation, notes, extra time to get ready, less for Baker to perform, a big stage he's never seen before. And I think having Defensive Player of the Year out against your
hold the Defensive Player of the Year. I still think it's Aaron Donald.
I don't.
Frankie, you seem mad about that. What?
There's no way.
I think it pisses me off because I thought he should have got it last year, but and now this year he's doing the same thing and he's still not. Like, I mean, he if anything, he has to be in the talk, and there's definitely a debate for it. And I don't mind Aaron Donald because, if it does go to Aaron Donald, he definitely does deserve that. You know what I mean? So, like, I can't get mad.
I mean,
I
agree with Frank. Aaron Donald's run stop threat is a bit higher, but through the pass, I'd have to give it to TJ.
No, I agree. I can agree with that. But so how confident are you in the Steelers
this weekend?
Yeah.
You're in Pittsburgh. Playoffs. 8:15 prime time. You guys never seen it before. I'm confident. Our quarterback's 40, but I mean but I don't know. I mean, I have some doubts too. I think our DBs have to play well, and I think our rookie receivers, it's also their first time too. I mean, our 2 best receivers are rookies besides Juju, but I mean, I don't think he's seen the playoffs yet either.
No, that's what I kind of like about the Browns. Like this week, I know like it was a close game, but we were also missing a lot of guys too. We didn't really show that much. We barely ran it with Chubb, and when he did run it, he ran it pretty well. So, kind of like I think it's a pretty even playing field. So I know it's in Hines.
I'm not arguing Chubb. He's a great player.
But
What
I'm
did
feeling
we show though? What the hell did we show?
no one. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone showed
The
anything.
only
I think
thing
we
we
got in the
showed
playoffs.
was the only thing we showed was that they can use Josh Dobbs in different packages now. Which honestly, I'd be okay if they would have did that earlier in the year.
Yeah.
A couple plays here and there.
Oh,
I mean, why
like
start?
Frank, we do not want Josh Dobbs in a playoff game.
Listen, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the whole year. I mean, we would have what 4 running back stress the whole year, and 2 of them would play. So I'd be perfectly fine with sitting one of the running backs and putting Dobbs in there, and then running a special package like they did on Sunday. It worked. It was kind of effective.
You'd like us to run that in the playoffs?
Well, look at it this way. We can't run the ball whatsoever, and our longest run yesterday was 14 yards by Josh Dobbs. So, and Josh Dobbs should have been in the 2-point conversion. That last 2-point conversion gives
That call
them
was horrible.
passing options, gives them run options. There's so many other options with Dobbs compared to Rudolph, but obviously
Rudolph didn't look that bad.
He didn't look bad, but they didn't care either. They
No.
didn't care.
The receivers didn't help him on a lot of plays either.
Yeah. But I will say one thing: if Ben's sitting at home watching that game, there's one thing that's eye-opening is you can go deep against Cleveland. You can go deep against them one-on-ones.
All day.
I feel like that's not eye-opening. It's been all year I've come on this show.
I know,
and,
but for playoffs,
our corners can't cover anyone.
Yeah, for playoffs, especially with that monster rookie Claypool, which, Mark, we have 1 rookie wide receiver, not 2.
He's thinking Deontay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean,
Rookie
maybe
in the
rookie
playoffs, I guess.
playoffs. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're all rookies in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not Juju. Juju played.
Yeah. Juju
When
played
did Juju go to the
2018.
He played against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We performed well.
The offense did. The defense didn't. But
Didn't Ben turn it over a couple times in that game?
Oh, God.
twice,
I mean, we're
but he
going
also
against
threw for
defense of the
he
year.
threw for 522 against what was arguably the best defense in the NFL that year.
Yeah, but
And he did. And I remember because that earlier in the regular season we played them, and that was that game he threw 5 interceptions.
that elbow. That elbow's not the same.
That elbow looked the same last time he was out there.
One game.
The dang elbow, man. His deep threat's not there. I keep telling Frank the deep ball is not there for Ben.
Mark, you also wanted Mason
I
Rudolph
want-
in. Like, what?
Mason Rudolph's deep balls, what was he?
It was horrible. His
9?
deep ball's just as bad as Ben's.
His deep ball looked pretty decent. He made
It
a
was
couple
on the
of
money.
shots.
No,
He was on
listen,
the
he
money.
completed balls, but listen, you got to
Okay.
watch a guy like Fields throw the deep ball. All these other guys throw sharp deep balls. Look at Rudolph's deep ball. His was wobbling, man.
Yeah,
And Ben's
Come
not.
on.
that's a great
There's
transition.
different,
Frank.
yeah. Did they catch it? Cool. They caught it. But there's differences between those deep balls. I want lasers. I don't want fluttering balls. I mean, Claypool bailed him out in the one in the end zone.
4th and 10, though.
Deontay made a great catch. I mean, yeah, you need those for deep balls, but
But that's just a good transition into Justin Fields. Had his debatably best game at Ohio State in the biggest game possible, and now Ohio State's in the championship. Another
That's
team.
the best quarterback performance I've ever seen in a semifinal game.
Oh,
That's
Baker's
That's-
honestly again in the Rose Bowl with Oklahoma's was pretty crazy. That would be my guess. Luke, what's your thoughts on
Okay.
that?
On Fields or
Either of those, Fields or the
I agree with Marco. I mean, that was I'm trying to think of recent just like quarterback performances just in general for Ohio State. That was probably one of the more impressive ones I've seen. But
in a very long time. Since I would say Troy.
yeah.
or any Dwayne. Well, the Dwayne Haskins games too were pretty great.
I'd probably say though the reason why that one was just so special is just because he got hit and then everyone was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I'm cool." So that was impressive. That showed a lot about him. So I don't. Again, I mean, people were like, "Well, that could maybe put him over at number one."
No.
I'm still taking Trevor Lawrence all day, but no,
He showed a lot of grit.
I'd say that probably just locked him up as a number 2 quarterback for the draft.
Yeah, that brought me to my question. Is like I was reading articles, but I really don't know if that performance could grant a number 1 overall pick. Now, if he goes to Bama and does the same thing, then we can come back and have a conversation on that. But I mean, I don't know. I'd take Trevor. I like Trevor.
Yeah, no, I think Trevor's just the safe pick. I think worst case scenario, you get a solid starter with Trubisky. Or no, I don't know. I was thinking Trubisky. Lawrence. I was comparing him to Trubisky, and Trubisky's not even solid. But I think you know what you're getting with Lawrence. Fields, I think you have like Russell Wilson type ceiling with him, but he has just some games where he is awful. So what's what you're going to get with him? I think now he's definitely number 2 over the BYU guy and the North Dakota State guy, Trey Lance and Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Whatever. So would you take him at number 2 for the Jets guys? What's your thoughts there?
I honestly, I don't think so. No.
You take Penny Sewell, just roll with Darnold one more year?
Yeah.
The Oregon lineman?
Even though they just fired their coach, right?
Yeah, that was smart.
I don't know where you start. I mean, you got. I guess you got to give him another year. You do.
For me,
you do.
For me, for rebuilds, I think you go O-line and defense, like interchangeable, work at the same time. Then you put your quarterback and your running backs into it. So they're not getting killed, and they're already surrounded by a good team, and then they just have to be okay with guys around them. Browns kind of are doing that now. We went a little early with the quarterback and still no defense, but got the line now at least.
After like 500 first-round picks.
Okay, it's whatever.
You snuck a playoff berth.
11 wins. Come on. It's not like we like snuck in or anything. We were pretty decent all year.
You guys
did kind of sneak in.
I walked into that. I walked into that one. We haven't been decent all year.
You haven't beaten a fully strength Pittsburgh Steelers team in I don't know how many years. I mean, you beat us last year with.
We tied one.
Wow, is that a win?
In my book, yeah. Well, it's not a loss. Yeah.
They should just
Not
give
a
you
win.
the win that year.
But going back
you beat
to
Rudolph, get
Yeah.
hit in the head. You beat, and then you have Duck Hodges beat you.
yeah,
I mean,
that
that
happens.
was
We
bad.
sucked.
That's
Terrible.
No, that was the worst one. That was bad.
I'm
You think
just
that was the
saying,
worst one? We lost by like 40, like 10 times in my life. Those are the worst ones. We weren't even
No,
competitive.
that was the worst one because you guys were actually like decent and in the hunt for a playoff spot that
We
game.
went
That was by
6 and
far the
10.
worst
We
one.
lost to the Cardinals, Bengals right after that.
Yeah,
too.
but what was your record before that? Going into that game, what was your record? 'Cause I think
Maybe
they were
500.
similar.
Maybe 500 or under
Yeah,
500
but I
for sure.
remember because that game was basically a playoff game for both of us. I remember that game.
Neither of us made the playoffs.
I'll look it up while you guys talk. I know, but we missed it by one game because we lost.
Yeah,
to
we
fucking
missed it by a
Jets.
lot. But going back to the playoffs, we can get back to that. Let's do a little championship prediction real quick here. I think
this was my hot take.
this is terrible.
I think Ohio State covers, and I'm still not confident because I think Bama's offense is just a little too good. But I think we're gonna see a good game. So I'm gonna, with my heart, pick Ohio State 42-38. Marco, what you thinking?
You guys were 5-7, by the way. 5-6 going into the game, so you were right, almost about 500. But anyway, prediction? I mean, what is the over under, like 75 for the over?
It's just been climbing. It's like up to like 78 or something now.
Yeah, it went up since last time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it makes it tough because last time we made it this far, we shocked everyone. It's like, now did we have Ezekiel Elliott? Yes, but we also had what, Cardell Jones?
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Good wide receivers though too.
Elite.
yeah,
Michael Thomas.
yeah, that's right.
Mike Thomas.
And Alabama has athletes everywhere. I mean, they have a first-round DB draft pick every single year since I've been alive. So, I mean, I'm trying to – as much as Alabama – the experience of Alabama, second to none, you know. Ryan Day hasn't been there.
Yeah.
I
Urban got done his first try at Ohio State there, and all those guys, new guys.
Yeah, I know.
And my thing is, I don't think Alabama like impressed anyone against Notre Dame. They 31. It was really 31-7. The late score. Their defense was impressive, but the offense was kind of shut down by Notre Dame. And
Yeah. Besides, whatever his name is, going airborne. I mean,
no,
you take that away. Yeah, you take that away.
Frank's
I mean,
man.
what is it?
That is my guy. That's our running back.
Yeah, that's who I want. But
all right, give me a
You
score.
don't even know his name. Yeah, give us a damn score. Jesus.
Anytime, Mark.
35-21 OSU.
Whoa, that's a little lower scoring than I thought.
Yeah.
All right, Luke.
I think our defense is all right.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, let me write it down.
I'll go with Ohio State. It's going to be a really close game. I'm going to go 49-46.
I'm gonna do Frank's score. I'm gonna do Frank's
betting
gonna
the
say
over.
45-35 Alabama.
Oh my God. You
No
were close.
way.
You were close. Look, I've said it all year. I hate Ohio State. Everybody knows I hate Ohio State. I will give them credit because I don't believe we did a show after the game they just put on. So look, I'm gonna put it out there right now. They shocked me. I thought they played great. It's the best game I've ever seen Ohio State play.
Yeah.
Ever.
Besides the Wisconsin game when we went to on our playoff run,
I don't
That was
count
the
that
greatest
because
game.
I don't think they're that good.
That was a Big Ten championship, right?
it was 56-0. It was the.
I
predicted with my dad that we were gonna lose that game, and we just throttled them.
I think I thought they played really well. I do. They shocked me the way they shut down Trevor and that offense, and how Fields played. That was great. Congratulations, but your luck runs out this week. You guys talked about that being your revenge game and stuff. You don't think that dude Nick Saban's had this game on his mind for a while?
I mean, it's kind of like
I got
he's not even
Bama.
facing Urban.
Yeah,
It don't
it's an
matter. It don't
everyday
matter.
walk in the park
Another
for Saban.
championship. He won one with
Yeah,
two.
dude.
Yeah, and how sweet would it be? He wants this one. I mean, I got Bama 45-31.
I was close. I was around it. I mean, that means Ohio State has to kick a field goal, and I don't think whatever his name is can kick field goals. He's
No.
awful.
Horrible.
Our kickers are the worst. All right. So last thing, Mark, we got you here, so got to talk about Akron football.
Ugh.
And the first thing I talk about was that Kent game. How
right.
good is Dustin Crum?
Solid.
Solid? Oh, come on. You got to
Solid.
give me it a little.
Solid.
That dude's elite. He's an elite
No.
action quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Action quarterback, he's elite. Yes. He's putting up numbers that, it's done in the MAC. The last person I can think of, and this is my recruiting year, is Logan Woodside was tearing people up.
Yeah.
But, he wasn't putting up, 70 points on a rival.
Number one offense in the country.
It's unheard of.
Yeah.
And I will say it here. I was embarrassed. In the locker room stuff won't be communicated here, but I was definitely embarrassed that I think he was 40 points better than us. No. Did I think we couldn't stop him? No. Did we stop him? No. So coming from me, I believe that if I would have been a coach in that situation, I believe we have 27, our best defensive player. His name's Bubba Arslanian. I believe we spy him all game long.
But you guys couldn't even stop like Isaiah McCoy downfield and stuff. That was the tough part. We were just chucking it.
Yeah, and we start a lot of redshirt freshmen, and we're going to be redshirt freshmen again next year. So I'm excited. Kent State, I know you want to talk about that. It's a rival game. But, through the first half of play, you guys couldn't stop us either.
Yeah.
Deion Dollard's a man. One of my close friends, he can run the ball.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a good. So going into this next coming season, how confident are you in improvement for Akron?
Against Crum?
Just the season in general, and then Kent as well.
All right. Season, I see a lot of improvement, but transfer portals haven't came out yet. I don't know who's coming to us. I don't know who's leaving us.
Are you guys? Do you guys think you're gonna get a lot of guys?
We just got a kid named Jess Lord. He's from Michigan State. He's a transfer that's coming
Wait,
in.
time
So
out. What's his name?
Jess Lord.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, kind of a unique name, but that's one of the biggest that I've seen from Michigan State transferring in. We haven't had success with a lot of big transfers coming to Akron. It's kind of been all recruiting with the MAC, and our recruiting class. I don't want to speak on that because obviously I'm on the team, but I've yet to see these guys. I see them Monday, so if we do want to do a show after I meet all these new recruits Monday, but I believe George Qualls coming back can be a deep threat. I don't know if you know who that is. Number 4, he was a receiver.
Okay, yeah.
And as the quarterback stands, Cato Nelson would be coming into his 5th year or 6th year senior season.
And he's
But I
coming
don't know if
back
they're
for
gonna
sure.
play him. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to play him.
Yeah,
because we have Zach, but we kind of kick Bowling Green's. Are we allowed to swear?
Oh yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, we kicked Bowling Green's ass. I want to say that we were in a game against Ohio. We competed in the first half against Kent. Buffalo.
No, no one did.
Buffalo. Yeah, so I'm not going to worry about Buffalo. Miami of Ohio. The scoreboard lied on that one because if you looked at the statistic category,
it wasn't that bad.
Our defense performance was second to none. Our offense did not look good at all. And then we obviously already talked about Kent State. If we would have played a full season, I would have argued 3-3 for us. We had Ohio on the ropes 7 times. Our quarterback threw 2 interceptions late down the stretch, and then they missed 2 field goals. They came in and threw another interception. So we had Ohio on the ropes. I think if we played a complete game, we win that game. Miami of Ohio, like I said, our defense was second to none. We competed through Kent State, and then we beat Bowling Green.
That makes sense. I got one last thing. So next year, well, so you can go.
Yeah, going into this year, we haven't had the full season release. I don't know what COVID's going to do, but as of right now, we play Ohio State.
That's what I was just going to ask. I was going to say, how many?
That's amazing.
How many Kent has to face some pretty good teams that I hate to say it, they're probably going to lose to. How many of those type of you guys are getting paid to play games? How many of those do you got?
Well, considering that we missed out payment on Clemson this year, because we were supposed to play Trevor Lawrence in Clemson.
God.
I mean,
it'd been cool to go there, but everything else about it would have sucked.
No, yeah. So, well, our out of conference games as of right now that I have off my memory is we have Ohio State, which is tough. We have Auburn Tigers in Auburn.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you, Mark. Those are 2 tough sells to compete in.
Yeah.
If it puts a New Jersey on my shoulder pads, I won't complain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I make a couple plays in that game. You never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get the stage no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what happens. MAC play, like I said, this is coming from a player myself. If we split the MAC, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know?
Give you a shot at a bowl.
I'm looking at probably I would want to go 6-6.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think all MAC teams should be at least the 6-6 goal.
And that's 2 losses to Auburn and Ohio State.
Yeah. It's hard to just count losses, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, you guys sorry.
No, that's that. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right. Anything you want to shout out before we send off?
Go Steelers.
All right.
That's about it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Mark. We'll be back soon.
Thanks for having me.
And we're back. Thanks again, Marco, for the interview. All right. College football, Ohio State. Come on. I'm feeling great. I'm more confident now about winning a championship. Last weekend, if you asked me, I would have said no. After the first drive of the Clemson game, too, I thought, okay, we're done. But I think we have a shot at winning a championship now. Luke, how are you feeling?
I agree. I mean, I think it was just a gutsy performance by Fields. I mean, just to come back out, I think that kind of shows. I will say that going into that game, Ohio State did have a lot of that, what we said, bulletin board material and that, revenge on their minds. Um, I don't want to say that I feel like it was like after the game, like I kind of, it's like the similar thoughts I had when we made it in 2014. Like after we beat Alabama, I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like, let's go. But in my mind, I think I don't even know if we had group chats back then with each other, but I think I even said, I was like, that was fun, but I think we're going to get killed by Oregon.
You did?
And look what oh yeah. I mean, I was saying, I was like, I don't think we're going to beat Oregon. Like that was fun, but I was like, it's no way. So, I kind of feel like that with this one where it was like, man, we beat Clemson. I feel really good. And I'm like, you know what? We got some momentum right now. Football is a weird sport. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
For me, it's a little different because I thought once we beat Bama, I was like, they are not even the same playing field as Oregon, and I thought we were going to handle Oregon pretty easily. Not as easily as we did, but I expected a win. This year, it's different. I think Bama was the best team going into it, and Notre Dame gave me a little more confidence since they played them pretty close. But I don't know if we can beat Alabama. That's how I'm feeling now. I would love to. I mean, I'll be coming on here screaming, going crazy if we do. But I'm a little iffy still. Frank, how do you feel?
First off, being the Ohio State hater of the show, congratulations, big win. They played good. Surprised the hell out of me. Fields looked good, and I'm picking Bama.
Yeah, we already made our predictions earlier, but
I think something I didn't say earlier that I thought about is kind of like last year where it was Clemson and Ohio State, and then I just felt like there was just LSU. You know what I mean? Like no one was going to touch LSU, and Clemson got dominated. I kind of see the same thing happen here, even though Ohio State looked really good. I don't think they'll get killed as bad as Clemson did, but I think it's going to be close. But I think Alabama's going to really pull away with it in the second half because, I mean, just watching that game, the one corner, I mean, their wide receivers are kind of insane, and I think he's going to have a huge day. And
I want to see Sean Wade just try to stop any of them because
that's what I didn't know his name, but that's what I'm talking about.
Potential Heisman winner. So
yeah,
I think he's two positions. So
I think he's just going to go absolutely off. I will be like so shocked if Ohio State wins this game. More shocked than I would be if the Browns beat the Steelers on Sunday. I will be so shocked if Ohio State wins this game. I really don't see this happening.
I'm the opposite. I'm definitely the opposite. I would be much more shocked if the Browns won a playoff game than Ohio State winning a championship.
I don't.
I agree with that.
I don't see Bama losing this game. I really don't.
I think Ohio State can just, at least worst case scenario, no one said we could stop Clemson's offense, and we did a good enough job slowing them down for most of the game. I don't think they can stop our offense either. If Justin Fields plays just as well as he did against Clemson, we can beat any team in the country. Trey Sermon's going to be able to run against Bama. Kyron Williams was running pretty decently for Notre Dame all game. So if he's able to run on them, Trey Sermon and our O-line are going to move Bama. If we can run like that again, just throw half decently, I think we can beat them.
Also, just want to say something real quick. Ohio State's running back, to all Ohio State fans out there, Ohio State's running back is good. Okay, he's real good. He's not number one. He's not the best running back in the country, and their offensive line is amazing. Their offensive line is very good. You put a lot of running backs in there, they can run through those holes. Because I was at Ohio State party, and that's all I kept hearing was Trey. I'm like, look at this offensive line just moving people. I said anybody can run through these. So he's good, but give some credit to the offensive line, and they move people.
That was without our starting center too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that Trey Sermon's good, but it's more, in my opinion, it's more the offensive line than him.
So Frank, I got another question for you about that game. So Skowski, he gets that targeting penalty. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it was the right call even, or anything about that?
Okay. I mean, yeah, right call, 100% by the rule. If you rule by rule, blah blah blah, right call. But they need to change that. That's a bullshit call. He
I
shouldn't be
agree.
ejected.
Fully agree.
I mean,
It should be a 15-yard penalty for spearing because one, you're like
here's what
almost hurting yourself.
comes to. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear targeting, here's what comes to my head. I see a dirty play, like to the
Yes.
head, or like just something very dirty. There was nothing dirty about that play whatsoever.
No, not at all.
He made a horrible, and he is lucky. He's very lucky and fortunate. He didn't get paralyzed or anything wrong, concussion, or anything. But he made a horrible form tackle that was not like dirty whatsoever, and he should not have been ejected. Did that have any outcome with the game, in my opinion? No, because they were still getting destroyed.
Skalski's very
But he should-
overrated too. He just
He
looks
should
like
not
he's
get-
good.
Yeah,
So, but he's like he only had 32 tackles this year as a
yeah,
middle.
he was.
That's
Yeah,
pathetic.
dude. He was. I mean, that was just that call pissed me off, man. That I didn't
agree.
like that call.
I think
at
there needs
all.
to be like two different ways with the rule. Like if there's malintent, like you see someone like headhunting, it's
Uh-huh.
15 yards, they're out for the game, and then I think you can even suspend them a game if you think it's that bad.
Yeah, if it's not
Something like
bad.
that, it should be just a 15-yard penalty for spearing. Nothing more than that. Just more to protect the defense, so you're not trying to do something like that, and just keep
That
the
was-
game going.
I mean, I actually couldn't believe it when they were like, he could be ejected right here. I said, what?
I remember
For
I was
what?
I was watching it with my dad, and he hit him, and he goes, you know. So well, first we were like, oh crap, Fields is hurt. But right after that, he's
Yeah.
sitting there, and before anyone said anything on the broadcast, he goes, that kind of looks like targeting if you think about it. He's like, he lowered the crown of his head right into his back, and I was like, no, like I was like, kinda, I guess. And then my man Kirk,
Yeah.
it's targeting, and then it did help. It's definitely swung the momentum a little bit for us, but I think we dominated still.
It didn't matter.
No. When you win by 21, it's not, and he's not even their best defender. So I was happy with that. I think the other college football game, Cincinnati Bearcats, they couldn't pull out the win, but they competed with a top 3 SEC team.
Yeah.
So that's how I take from it.
They lost.
They should have had. I think they do just as
They
well.
played one good team and they lost. That's
And-
all I'm gonna say.
So the ACC, who just went 0-6 in bowl games. Let me repeat that.
They played very bad.
0-6.
They played bad.
They didn't win one bowl game. They didn't even luck into one. Not one. They didn't luck into.
Pitt would have won, but that's
But
not my
since
business.
you got Cincinnati, I think does just as well as Notre Dame in that playoff game, right? Am I crazy to say that? 31-7.
I
It's like
mean-
it was close. So
Mm.
give them a shot. Maybe they play them a little better. Maybe you don't know what happens. Maybe Cincinnati doesn't have a horrible fourth quarter against
I don't know.
Bama.
I mean, we said how bad Georgia was all year, and for some reason they love them, and Georgia beat them. So,
They got a quarterback.
look, and you know
Terrible
what?
coach,
Bowl
though.
games are, yeah, the whole ACC thing too. Bowl games have changed so much with just all these players opting out and stuff. These are practically like new teams out there.
Did the ACC have a lot of opt-outs really though?
I mean, North Carolina had their
Other than North Carolina, I'll give North Carolina.
Think about it. They had 2 playoff teams and they both lost.
And they got throttled.
That goes 0-3. NC State, that was a bad one. I don't know why they lost. I heard they had people out too. I mean, they were 8-3.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Wake Forest played Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got dominated.
Wake Forest wasn't that good. So I mean, and I said Wisconsin.
I
wasn't
love
that
Sam
good
Hartman.
either.
I'm not no Sam Hartman slander here.
That's a no.
I mean, I didn't think they were that good. So that's 0-4, and then I'm trying to think of the other 2. Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, their quarterback got hurt. They had a lot of opt-outs on defense.
And
And
so
I'm
did
saying, look,
Oklahoma State.
everybody else had, but their quarterback got hurt. So, look, I'm not defending. I'm not going to say the ACC sucked this year because if we go by, like, statistically, they were probably the best conference of college football this year. They just had a bad bowl game run. Because
You can't say they're the best conference when their two teams in the playoffs got crushed.
Time out. Okay, you are
Crushed.
using my thing. You were using my thing now because I always say how bad the Big Ten does in bowl games, but you say
But
they're
the Big
best
Ten
conference.
doesn't do bad in
No.
bowl games.
So
That's
the
like
ACC
5
did
years in a
bad
row
one
we've been
year.
above
The
500.
ACC did bad 1 year. They did bad 1 year, and now it's all of a sudden all eyes on ACC. They had a bad bowl game thing. So what? Yeah, I'm dead silent. I'm not. They were probably the best conference in football though.
No.
How?
I
They had
think-
2 playoff teams.
Who they lost by 24 and
So
21.
who was it?
They were
So-
what we call overrated.
So Drew, who was the best conference in football?
The Big 12. That's my controversial take. The Big 12 was the best
Big
conference in football.
12.
They didn't lose a
I
bowl
thought
game.
you threw me off. I thought you were gonna say Big Ten. I was gonna punch you in your face. but-
Oklahoma dominated their bowl game. Iowa State, other than their terrible first loss of the year, looked very good and then dominated a bowl game. And then everyone else won their bowl games. So I think
So
yes,
now,
the Big 12
bowl
overall was the
games
best
are
conference.
so big. Bowl games are so big right now.
Bowl games are pretty
With all
important.
these, where we turn on the TV and we see these 4 and 5 teams playing at bowl games are huge.
For some teams they are, some teams they're not. If you,
I mean, it was
wait, Frank,
Luke
let me
said
use
it
your
best.
example.
Luke said it best in the beginning of the show. He said it's a flukish year, like very
Let me
flukish
use
things
your
that are
words.
happening.
It doesn't matter who's out there. If you're 4-10, you're gonna try as hard as you can to win the game. What
It's
do
a
you think
bowl
they're doing
game,
in
not
this?
an NFL play. Not the NFL.
They're
it's a
bowl
bowl
games
game.
though. They're big games for these conferences.
Oh
They
my
get
God,
money,
yeah.
they get
And
publicity, they're all on TV.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Those guys in the NFL, they're getting money. And the bowl games, those kids aren't getting money because they probably suck and they're
You
filling
get
in for the
that
people
bowl
that.
game.
No. And here's the thing: they're filling in for the people who opted out, going to get the money. There's your thing right there.
And the thing is though, you still get things for winning a bowl game. You get like thousands of dollars of gifts.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
cool.
don't call
Hey,
it payment.
you do.
It's
Here's the thing too, then for some of those guys, this is like a shot at them to be on a national TV broadcast, get their name out there a little bit. I mean, you definitely don't go into this and just dump.
I never argued that. Yeah, but I never said that they just decided not to play hard. That was never my argument. Sometimes you're just not good enough.
so the
Their
ACC
backups were not good enough. Yeah, maybe their
ACC had their
ACC backups
starters
were
in all
not good
those
enough.
playoff games, and those starters were not good enough.
Oh my God, Drew! Every time Ohio State loses, I'm just gonna rip on the Big Ten and say how bad
We've
they are.
lost
just
once in
because
2
they
years.
Just
Bring it
because they
on.
lose a playoff game. Just because they lose a playoff game. I mean, God Almighty, Clemson was in the national championship last year. How
And they got
how
lucky.
many years has Clemson? How many years has Clemson been in the national championship?
Like
By
3
your
out of
thing that
6.
you're saying right now, Clemson, the ACC is the best conference in every year. By the way, you're talking about it right now.
The ACC was overrated this year. I had been saying that all year. I didn't think Notre Dame was that great. And then I said Clemson, who lost to Notre Dame, with DJ, that showed what they were.
You're just going by one game bowl games, for Christ's sake.
I'm going by the playoffs, which is the biggest game of the year. You get the 4 best teams, and 2 of them were ACC teams, and they got throttled. So they deserve to be overrated.
Your big bad Northwestern struggled with.
They won
frickin'
by 20.
Auburn.
They won by
In
20.
the fourth quarter, they were up by 3.
They crushed them. It wasn't even ever close. They probably had like 2 or 3 more yards.
About?
Frank, that game was
close.
never in
What
question.
are you
Auburn
What
couldn't
game did
move
you
the
watch?
ball.
Did you watch the game? It was
Yes.
close.
It was
Okay,
the score
big
was
bad,
close, but
Big bad Indiana lost to Ole Miss.
they stunk.
What's Ole
Indiana
Miss? They have
doesn't
4
deserve any
wins.
respect.
What?
They stunk.
They have
And they
4
didn't
wins.
also-
I mean, Jesus
Indiana
Christ.
also didn't have their Heisman finalist quarterback. That's kind of a huge deal for a team like that.
North Carolina didn't have their best running back. That's
They
a
had their
huge deal for
quarterback.
that.
That's the most important position
Oh
in
my
football.
God, Jesus! What does that even mean?
And I already cut you slack for North Carolina. I said the North Carolina game we can excuse, but Texas A&M also had opt-outs. If we're just gonna ignore that.
Texas A&M's 15th in the country. North Carolina's 14th.
Yeah, and I cut North Carolina slack. I didn't think Texas A&M was good all year. Well, they were okay, but that's what it is.
We said how you talked about how good Florida was. They got their fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, and that's why I said the Big 12 was way better than them. They were way overrated.
No, man.
So that was
I'm not
everyone's
gonna say.
big win
I'm
was
not
Florida.
saying the ACC is overrated off of one weekend just because Ohio State lost. Look, we saw Notre Dame coming. We saw that coming. Plain and simple.
Yeah,
Clemson, we didn't see that one coming. If Clemson doesn't win, we're not saying the overrate. If Clemson wins, Everybody's quiet. We're not talking about the ACC being overrated.
The ACC has just been a one-team conference for a long time now, and that's the problem with them. There's just no bottom.
They've rode on Clemson's coattails every year.
Since the playoffs
Oh my!
started.
I'm sorry the ACC doesn't get as much publicity as the sorry Big Ten. I'm sorry.
Who's good in the ACC? Frank,
What about
come on.
publicity?
What do you mean?
Knows
Okay,
Clemson.
you guys ride Northwestern. I mean, that was your big win, Northwestern. They lost to Michigan State. Are you gonna really sit here and rip on the
Okay,
ACC
Frank, we can
when
do
your
this for
best
every
team lost
team.
to Michigan
Iowa State lost to Louisiana Lafayette. Florida lost to LSU. Everyone has a bad loss here and there, but it's the big wins and the season as a whole that defines you. The ACC
All right,
only
let's go
played.
through 'em.
Go through
Let's
what?
go through 'em. The ACC, first of all, the ACC played a full schedule, which Big Ten couldn't do because they were too busy holding their cocks on waiting for COVID to pass
There's a
by.
pandemic,
And
Frank.
then
Are you
they said,
pandemic
"Oh,
shaming
we
right
gotta
now?
get
Oh, you're
that."
pandemic shaming. That's
No,
ridiculous. Do you not care
do I
about
have to
people's
pull up
lives,
your
Frank?
tweet?
There's
Do I have
people's
to pull
lives
up
on the
your
line
tweet?
now.
Do I have to pull up your pandemic tweet?
What?
Shaming do I have to pull up your
They're not
basketball
wearing masks.
tweet?
Okay, let me explain that Boston
Oh,
College.
pandemic. There's people's
So-
lives, Drew.
so
There's people's lives. At
They're
stake
not even
here.
wearing the mask on their face. What's the point of wearing a mask if you're not going to cover your nose and mouth?
You were ripping on them, not me, man.
Because they weren't wearing their mask properly. If you're going to wear the mask, actually. Make it do something. If you don't cover your nose with a mask, it's like no effectiveness. But that's besides the point. What are we even talking about? How do we even get here? You got me all riled up, Frank. The ACC sucks. That's
I
more of the
talked
story.
about the ACC playing a full schedule and the Big Ten playing all 5 games.
It's 'cause you're
It being
pandemic
that
shaming.
tough.
Pandemic shaming. Forgot about that. We tried to play an 8-game schedule, but Corona happens. Can't help that. It's pandemic,
Look.
Frank. What were we supposed to do about that?
Like you said, you got me. I talked about the Bulls. The ACC was absolutely horrific in bowl games.
Thank you.
Will I say they were overrated?
Yes.
Absolutely
mightily.
not. And I and Jacob Spain, please listen to this because I know for once in your life you are going to be on my side about this. The ACC was not overrated. They're not. They were not overrated.
They went to the games and they lost. Most of them, they were ranked over a team.
What? Who? Wait, are we going by like rankings?
Yeah, so
Or-
UNC they weren't, but NC State was, Clemson was, and then Notre Dame wasn't. So you're splitting games.
To be honest,
Miami
I
was,
didn't get
so
the
3.
NC State. I didn't see I don't understand the NC State game. Like, I don't know how they lost, first of all. Like, they had to have had someone out because they're 23rd and Kentucky sucks. That was horrible.
Kentucky's defense has been pretty decent all year, though.
Okay. Miami, that game was a toss-up. Oklahoma, they're both eh. I mean, they were both pretty good all year, decent. That game was a toss-up. It's not like act like an Oklahoma State. And maybe you are right. The Big 12 didn't get a lot of credit, as much credit as they deserve this year. So, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State, I'm going to count them as a good team. North Carolina, obviously, Texas A&M arguing for their playoff spot. Want that. It was a good game. I mean, it was 2 scores, but it was one of those games where, I mean, it was good.
Which
You
one?
know what I mean? North Carolina,
Yeah.
Texas A&M.
No, that was a
It
very
was
good
a
game.
good game. Yeah. Clemson let us down. Clemson goes down, the conference goes down. I mean, that's obvious. You guys go down, the Big Ten goes down too. It's that simple.
But most years, we at least have other teams to back us up. This was the first. The Big Ten had a pretty bad year, and I've said that all year. The Big Ten was way down.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think we were ranked accordingly. We
but
have
let's not.
3 ranked teams. I don't think that's anything crazy.
So who in the ACC besides? Okay, who? I'll let you answer. Who shouldn't be ranked in the ACC? That is ranked.
As high is my problem. Notre Dame should. We just overrate them every year because their name is Notre Dame.
All right.
They don't play anyone all
I mean,
year. They lose
No,
their
So
big
who-
games.
wait, so you don't think Clemson should have got in the playoffs?
No, I do think Clemson does, but they also lost to
all
Notre
right,
Dame.
that's
who's
Notre Dame. That's
not.
one high. All right, who else?
NC State apparently wasn't that good.
I mean, that's
Miami,
not high. It's
don't get me started on
23rd.
Miami being ridiculously overrated. They had no passing game all year, and they got exposed by a team that could actually play a little defense. I love De'Aaron King, but he can't throw the ball. He looks like there's something wrong with his shoulder when he throws the ball.
Well, he's out now. He's got torn ACL.
Might come back for his, what, 6th year?
I don't know, man. I don't think they're overrated.
Luke, what's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Think they're overrated?
I think it's just a weird year in general because I feel like Big Ten always has like
That's a
Ohio
cop-out
State-
answer, Luke. Come on.
It's not. It's an honest answer. Let me finish real quick.
Yeah.
And every other year, I feel like it's Ohio State, Northwestern, Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin. We at least have like 5 teams that are pretty much always ranked throughout the year. I feel like when I think of the ACC, I only think of Clemson. I just think Clemson is always at the top, and you'll have
Yes.
like a few weeks where you get these ACC teams that win and they balance each other out. I mean, what was it the past, except for this year? Well, yeah, even including this year, there's been a different person in the championship game on the ACC each year. It's always Clemson versus somebody else. Like for the most part in the Big Ten, it's Ohio State, Northwestern.
Wait,
Most
so you've
constant.
never heard of that? You've never
Bama.
heard of that? You've never heard of Florida State then, huh?
I mean,
they were good in
did.
like 2014,
I'm
Yeah.
just, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I count that as recent. That's 6 years.
but they're horrible now.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
didn't
they're
beat their
horrible
own.
now. They went down, but I mean, I'm counting that's ACC. It's not Clemson.
But since they've started ACC Conference Championship game, there's been a different team play Clemson every single year.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad.
And
Ah,
it's
man,
usually
that's
not a
bad.
team that has any chance at beating them.
No.
Notre
I
Dame was
mean-
the closest thing to it.
Obviously, they're. I mean, I don't want to say they're down because I still think, like I said, they had a good year. And if you look at it, they actually like you said how they knock each other off. They actually do well in their bowl games. They do. Like not this year. They were absolutely horrible this year, and there's gonna be a great cloud over it. But they do well in their bowl games. But I mean, yeah, you're definitely right. That is bad. I mean, I can agree with you on that. It's horrible that it's only Clemson
Well,
versus
You can
another
also
team.
agree that I still think even if Clemson wins, you're still 1-5 then. So it's like it still just shows like, okay, Clemson saves the day, but the rest of the ACC doesn't really look too hot. So I mean, either way,
Okay, yeah,
I
but that's
think
1 year.
it's
That's
fair.
1 year.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's 1
saying. I
year.
think it was just a bad.
But I mean, you switch the year where if Clemson wins the national championship and our bowl games go well, then you go and look like, oh, holy shit, the
I
ACC
think
is actually
even-
pretty good.
even if Clemson wins the national championship and the ACC doesn't do good in bowl games, it doesn't matter because the ACC won the national championship. You kind of just
I mean,
overlook.
I think it would matter. I mean, especially
I
if they don't do.
I don't think at the end of the year you would really be like, well, Clemson won the national championship, but the ACC went 2-4 in their other games. Like,
I
really
mean, you're
no-
not going to look at it.
That's
but
the
I
big
would, I
thing for the
mean,
Big Ten this year. If Ohio State goes and wins a national title, all of the Penn States, the Wisconsins, the Michigans, all being pretty bad this year, kind of gets overlooked because Ohio State won you a national championship.
Sure.
It's a good point, Luke. Well, that everything?
yeah,
Pretty long show.
go Steelers.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check us out. Twitter, TikTok. I think that's all we're really doing now. And then podcast. Rate us, subscribe, like, and of course, go Browns, go Buckeyes.